You don't hate your job. You're just out of alignment with your purpose. So ever since I went through my spiritual awakening, the job that I like to do, I love to do, I went to school to do, it's hard for me to do. It is gut wrenching for me to go into work every single day. What happens is when you go through a spiritual awakening, you see things a lot different than when you've seen them before. You don't want to follow the matrix, so to say, for lack of a better word. You don't want to keep following a template. Grow up, get married, have kids, buy a house, become a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever they say. Those things are implanted in you by television, your parents, and society. And once you have a spiritual awakening, the last thing you want to do is to work a 9 to 5. I'm not judging it because I know majority of us make our living from working a 9 to 5. And I just know that me working a 9 to 5 is out of alignment with my purpose. They say your purpose is whatever you think about in the morning and the last thing you think about when you go to sleep. I don't think about my job when I'm there. I'm kind of disconnected from it. And it's like I want to find my purpose, but I don't know where to start. But I kind of don't want to do what I'm doing anymore. But I know that I am misaligned. Anything you're misaligned with starts to make you feel numb. You start to disconnect from it. You may start to have anxiety. You may start to regret it. So instead of you getting another job or jumping from job to job, check in with God. Start to pray to God, and every single day, ask God to show me what is my purpose. You may like to write. You may like to teach. You may like to build things. You may like to create art. You may like to sing. You may like to dance. Whatever you used to do when you was a child and you did it carefree. Do something that you're not even worried about if it brings you money, but it brings you joy. And when you're aligned with what God has for you, because in the Bible, God created. You are an extension of God. God, we are here to create. Find your purpose. That's the best thing you could do for yourself. That's the best thing you could do for the greater good of humanity. And that's the best thing that you can do to please God, is to ask God every day to allow me to find my purpose. And don't be scared to step into it. Don't be scared to record that video. Don't be scared to move to another state. Don't be scared to leave that relationship. Don't be scared to learn how to sing. Don't be scared to write that book, because fear is not of God. Fear is of the devil, or fear is the ego. So if you're living from the ego, you're always going to be in misalignment. You have to live from the heart, and whatever is calling you on a day-to-day basis, whatever you're scared to do, do it. Because the greater fear is, that means the greater your purpose is. You just have to get in alignment with what God has for you. And how you get in alignment is do your meditation, do your breath work, do your prayers, read scriptures, align yourself. You do not have to physically work as hard as you're working. The purpose of getting in alignment is to do what you love and don't worry about the money. The money always follows alignment. I'm going to say that again. Money always follows alignment. Abundance of it. More money than you can handle. You'll start to be a cheerful giver. That's also in the Bible. God says be a cheerful giver, meaning you will have enough funds to supply the needs of the needy. You will actually work for God. You'll be on God's payroll when you start to follow your aligned purpose. When you follow your aligned purpose, now you have God backing you up. Now you are building your career on brick. You're not building it on sand. It cannot be swept away. Work for yourself. Create a book. Create a YouTube page. Create a TikTok page. Talk about your trauma. Talk about your pain. Talk about how you got over it. Talk about your dreams. Just talk. Pick up the phone, press record, and just talk, and you'll find your niche. And once you find your niche, it can't do anything but go up from there. Do not be scared of people judging you, because judgment is also from the ego, and we're not Your purpose is not from the ego. So if people judge you, they're not your audience. If people can pick up the phone and sit behind their phone and judge you, you are not my target audience. And if you're not my target audience, I don't even care, because you're not going to receive the message anyway. So don't be scared to be judged. They judged Jesus. Did he care? No. Just keep on doing with what you're doing. Keep on doing your spiritual practices of meditating, sitting with yourself. That is very big, to sit with yourself and sit with your pain. Because underneath all that discomfort and underneath all that pain and what you call depression is your purpose, is your joy, is your light. You just have to sit with that pain and transmute it. And when you transmute it, you can start to hear the voice of guidance. And it's always going to guide you to the purpose that you came down here to do. So keep pushing.